Our first one for today is going to be, am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she tried to sabotage my engagement? That's weird, but no. We're gonna start off strong with a solid no. I don't know, we'll see. Unless they're being petty, and that's weird. I don't know. I, 29 female, am getting married in a few months to my fiance, Daniel, 31 male. We've been together for 5 years, and he proposed last year. I'm thrilled to marry him, but there's been a major issue with my sister, Emily, that's cast a shadow over the whole thing. Ooh, what is it? Emily has always been the golden child in our family. Beautiful, charming, and able to talk her way out of anything. Uh-oh. I've always felt like the responsible choir to one in comparison. Things came to a head when I got engaged. Emily started making comments about how she thought Daniel was too good for me and how she always thought he might have had a crush on her before we started dating. Oh, that's weird. At first, I brushed it off as her usual behavior, but then it escalated. That's weird. A month after our engagement party, I found out from a mutual friend that Emily had been telling people at the party that Daniel had once flirted with her and only proposed to me because she turned him down. When I confronted Emily about it, she laughed and said it was just a joke, and Daniel and I were both deeply hurt. The final straw came when Emily drunkenly cornered Daniel at a family gathering and told him he was making a mistake marrying me. Dude, what? Chill out. Daniel told me about it immediately, and I was furious. I confronted Emily again, but she denied it and accused me of being paranoid and insecure. Okay. After that, I decided I couldn't have her at my wedding. I told her she wasn't invited because of her consistent disrespect for me and my relationship. That's right, that's right. This is the action that I believe I'm being judged for, excluding my sister from my wedding. I understand this decision might make me the asshole because it would be seen as unnecessarily harsh or vindictive. My parents are furious with me, saying I'm tearing the family apart over something petty. That is not... Like, those are fighting words. I'm gonna be for real. Those are fighting words. They argue that weddings are about family and that I should let bygones be bygones. Okay. Emily, of course, is telling everyone I'm overreacting, and some relatives agree with her, saying family is family and I'll regret this decision. She regrets her decision. She shouldn't have done that. At the same time, I feel justified because I don't want drama on what should be one of the happiest days of my life. I wonder if excluding her might be unfair, and given her past behavior, I feel like it's the best way to protect myself and my relationship. Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister? No! What? What do you mean? I feel like 80% of these revolve around weddings and kids. Opus offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action I took was deciding not to invite my sister to my wedding because of her repeated attempts to undermine my relationship and disrespect my fiancé and me. This might make me the asshole because I'm excluding a close family member from a major life event, which could be seen as harsh or as escalating the conflict rather than attempting to reconcile. My parents and other relatives had told me this decision is divisive, oh my gosh, and that I'm being overly vindictive, which has made me question if I'm handling the situation the wrong way. Dude, I can't believe, like, she's getting gaslit. What I might have done wrong is not finding a way to address the conflict more constructively and potentially causing a rift in my family. She started it! She started it! Maybe, hear me out, maybe Daniel was lying and just trying to sabotage his sister to hide his infidelity with her, trying to get out ahead and besmirch the sisters right before she could reveal the truth. Alright, so anyway. That would be crazy, like, if that were the case. But I don't know. With her past behavior, that's gonna make it a little bit harder to, like, or get behind, honestly, is probably a better word for me to say, or lack for a better term. Emily drunkenly cornered Daniel at a family gathering and told him he was making a mistake marrying me. Yeah, obviously, well, beyond the pale here. You have moral grounds for not inviting her based on that alone. However, it might be worth inviting her so she can witness your marriage. Oh! I say this because my husband invited an old girlfriend, who apparently still had hopes with him, to our wedding. What? She got to sit in the crowd and watch as my husband expressed his love and devotion to me and only to me. It put a definite exclamation mark on this other woman's aspirations. We never heard from her again. It would be different with a sister, and I get not inviting her for fear she'd ruin the day. No matter what you decide, you're not the asshole. Side note, my parents are furious with me, saying I'm tearing the family apart over something petty. That is not petty. Your parents either do not understand or are in denial about how badly your sister has behaved. I would sit them both down and have my fiancé express his extreme discomfort with her actions. Maybe they'll understand the gravity of the situation. Like, that's... that's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole. I'm gonna say not the asshole. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to prioritize our family tradition over his new friendship? What? I don't know. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'm gonna say... I mean, this all seems obvious, so I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, that's my final answer. I'm just gonna say yes. My husband, 35 male, and I, 32 female, have a very small but meaningful tradition we started the first year we got married. It's nothing major, but it's important to me. Every November on the weekend before Thanksgiving, we take a day trip to this lakeside town about an hour away. We spend the day walking, talking, and picking out a new ornament for our Christmas tree, something that's meaningful to our year. Aww! It's just one day, but it's one of those things that make the holiday season special for us. Aww! My husband recently became great friends with a guy from his gym. Ooh. My husband recently became great friends with a guy from his gym. They hit it off quickly, and I think it's great because my husband doesn't make new friends easily. He seemed like a genuinely nice person and shares a lot of his interests, like hiking and gaming, and I know it's refreshing for my husband to have someone he clicks with so well. Here's the issue. My husband's friend invited him to go on a weekend trip for the exact same weekend as our tradition. My husband seemed hesitant to bring it up at first, but eventually he asked if it'd be okay with us rescheduling our tradition to another weekend, so he could go on this weekend with his friend. I was caught off guard, and I told him it kind of hurt my feelings that he'd even consider moving it. He told me it's not a big deal for us to just go another weekend, and he's right in the sense that it doesn't really affect anything logistically. Aww. But this trip has always felt like our thing. It's not that I don't want him to have fun or make new friends, but I kind of feel like he's minimizing something that's special to us, or at least special to me. When I told him that, he looked surprised, then frustrated, saying I was overreacting. He ended up agreeing to keep the weekend for our tradition, but I could tell he was disappointed, and I feel guilty for that. Part of me wonders if I'm being stubborn about a little ritual that maybe only I care about as much as I do. Aww. So, am I the asshole for asking him to prioritize our tradition over his new friend? Oh. I don't know, I feel pretty hurt too. Update. I saw some people asking how long we've been married. We've been married for 6 years, and we've been doing this tradition since our first year together, always on the same weekend. Update 2. A lot of people asked why this specific weekend matters so much to me. I think it's because we've kept this tradition on the same weekend for over 6 years, and to me, the timing feels like an integral part of the tradition itself. It's become a marker for the start of the holiday season in my mind, and changing it feels like losing some of the meaning behind it. Update 3, dude! Update 3. Get over yourself. Shut up! Oh my god. Update 3. After a few hours, I want to thank everyone who shared their opinion. After reading the comments and giving myself some time to reflect, I decided to talk to my husband again. I told him I felt bad for how things went earlier, and that I didn't mean to make him feel like I'm keeping him on a leash. I also explained why our little tradition feels so special to me and how I've always seen that weekend as our weekend. He admitted that he hadn't realized how much it meant to me. He said he'd been excited about the trip with his friend because it was the first time in a long time that someone reached out to him like that, and that he didn't want to let that slip away. We both agreed we could have handled the conversation better, and that neither of us wanted the other to feel like their feelings didn't matter. As said earlier, we've decided to stick to our tradition this year as planned, and my husband is going to plan a weekend trip with his friend in January when the holidays are over. Oh, at least they talked it out. Yes, it's a day. Okay, alright. Opie has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I asked my husband to prioritize our tradition over his plans with his new friend, even though rescheduling wouldn't have impacted our plans in any practical way. I'm glad that we're able to, talk about it. I think no one sucks here. If that's the case, that's totally valid. This one's Poo mode activated, but I'm no longer trusting Poo mode activated. Am I the asshole for being mean to my wife for buying me a trip to a Cancun resort for my 40th birthday? Those are really cheap. I don't know, did you express, is it more of a her thing? It says Poo mode activated. I guess we'll see. My wife and I have been together for 20 years, married for 15 of those years. That being said, my wife has been well aware that I do not like traveling. I don't mind road trips or a state or two away, but that's it. I hate flying, and I really don't like surprises. These are facts that I've made known for decades at this point. My wife, however, for the past 5 or 6 years has really started itching to travel because her friends are traveling. Back in August, she kept insisting that our family get passports. During this whole process, I repeatedly say I don't think it's necessary because I hate traveling. But I relent when she says she may take the kids out of the country at some point in the future. In September, she told me to take November 21st and 22nd off from work. Of course, when I ask why, she refuses to tell me. After some pressing, she says she's surprising me with a trip to a resort in Cancun for my 40th birthday. At this point, I'm floored, not in a good way. I asked her why she did this, reiterate that I hate flying, say I wanted a simple dinner at my favorite restaurant and a video game for my birthday, etc. She starts getting watery-eyed and says she sold a bunch of her work's stock to fund the trip, and I relent and say we can go to Cancun. In October, our dog gets cancer. Oh my god. Treatment is freaking expensive, so I tell my wife to return the trip tickets. She says she can't because it's too late to get her money back. When I asked how much she paid, it's damn near $2,000. Damn. This gets me upset all over again because at this point we're looking terrible financially. We're paying vet bills, our downstairs AC unit broke and had to be completely replaced for $7,000 back in August, damn. And she's splurging on a Cancun trip. I get pissed and tell her that if she had $2K to blow on a trip, she should have asked me what I actually wanted. Got me a PS5, some dinner at my favorite spot, and put the rest towards our mounting debt. Again, she starts with a shaky voice and watery eyes, so I suck it up and sell off a huge portion of my retro game collection to keep us afloat. November, it really starts to hit me that this trip isn't even for me. She likes to travel. She likes to fly. She wants to go to Cancun, and my birthday is the perfect excuse to go. So I've been building up resentment about being broke with December fast approaching. We have 2 kids, one of which is born right up before Christmas. So our friends are going to be tight from them needing to buy presents. The whole thing comes off as her being financially irresponsible and using my birthday as an excuse to do some traveling to make her happy. This past week, I've been kind of a dick to her because I'm starting to build resentment here and haven't spoken to her in a week. I also randomly went out with friends and rubbed it in her face that they actually take me places I want to go. I'm also seriously considering buying a PS5 and taking her to my favorite dinner spot for her birthday in April. Okay. She booked the trip in September, the AC went out in August. We do travel, we go on family vacations every year. We've gone on several cruises out of the country in the past 10 years. We've taken a few plane trips to Orlando and Vegas as well. I'm not sure why people assume I expect her to sit at home all day and never travel. If she wanted to travel on her birthday, I absolutely would go whenever she wanted because it's a day that's all about her and celebrates her. One of the big issues I have with her actions is that being done on my birthday. Yes, I have hobbies. I have a strict budget for these hobbies. And since my kids were born, I've cut down drastically to make sure or put money in their college savings account each month since birth. My family is not neglected because of this. I spend a ton of time with my kids. I feel like I have to reiterate this. I'm down to travel outside the country with my wife on special occasions that celebrate her and our relationship. I would absolutely suck it up for her, and have done so in the past. My issue is that the day is being done on my birthday. I kinda get it. I mean, there is a thing to where you can't get your money back on trips after a certain amount of time. Unless you, like, get the insurance for that. I think that's a thing. So, I don't know. Like, I kinda get it, and I mean, it's the part, like, I don't know, with the resentment and everything, and just sometimes bad, like, the things... Especially the financial issues that did start happening, like, after, you know? Everyone sucks here. It's been 20 years of kidding to your extreme dislike of traveling. Your wife is clearly sick of it, damn. It was a giant asshole move for her to use your birthday as an excuse. You're right to be angry. But continuing to hold resentment is going to build into divorce. So stop. Take a breath. Tell your wife you'll do the Cancun trip and even try to enjoy yourself. But from now on, when she wants to travel, she needs to be more transparent about it being for her. She can go on trips with her friends, take the kids on a cool mommy-kid trip, stuff like that. You can stay home and have some daddy-kid time or general free time for video games. There are compromises available, but you two need to talk about it. I agree with this person. Am I the asshole for making my seat swapper cry? And it says not the asshole. Okay. So I board the plane, settle into my economy plus seat. Woman approaches, asks me to change seats to 32B so her 9-year-old can sit with her. Oh, yeah, no. I ask how much cash she has to repay me for the money I spent on the seat. She says I'm cruel for leaving her son with anxiety sitting alone. You should have coughed up the cash. I said clearly she cares more about her own comfort than her son's well-being. If she cared, she would give up her seat and move to the back. She breaks out in a screaming wail filled with, "How could you?" 10 minutes later, a smiling man sits down next to me, grinning about his sweet upgrade. My partner says I am the asshole for questioning her parenting in public and making her cry. Am I? No. OP has offered the following explanation for why I think that might be the asshole. For embarrassing this woman and questioning her parenting in public. She was putting you in that spot. Not the asshole. She's in the wrong for 1, not being able to plan and book ahead of time so her son isn't left alone. 2, not being able to put aside her comfort ahead of her precious son. And 3, thinking that anyone owes her anything for being a poor planner. Ooh. When I booked my seat, hers was already taken, so she booked first. Didn't look like poor planning. Looked like she only wanted to pay for 1 premium seat and wanted to guilt me into giving up my seat. Yep. Am I the asshole for not giving my sister my spot in a prestigious summer program? I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry. I, 20 female, recently got accepted in a competitive summer program that I've worked hard for over the past 2 years. It's something I've poured hours into building my portfolio, attending workshops, and sacrificing a lot of my free time. My sister, 23 female, who has never shown any interest in this field before, also applied on a whim but didn't get in. When she found out I was accepted, she asked me to give her my spot because she thinks it would look better on her resume. And that I could just apply again next year. Oh my god. I told her no, explaining that this is something I've worked towards for years and that I'm not giving it up just because she wants it now. She called me selfish and told her parents, who are now pressuring me to be the bigger person. She needs to be the bigger person and let her have the opportunity since I'm younger and have some more time to try again. I'm standing my ground, but now everyone's making me feel like a terrible person. I'm prioritizing something I've worked so hard for. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action that should be judged. I refused to give my spot in a prestigious summer program to my sister, despite her request and my parents' pressure. Why that action might make me the asshole? My refusal could be seen as selfish since my sister claims this opportunity would benefit her more immediately, and I could apply again next year. By not giving up my spot, I might be putting my personal ambition above family unity or her career prospects. If this was like a career prospect, she should have prepared instead of like, oh, sister got it, I'll take, yeah. Yeah, no, they put in all the work, and then another person comes and wants to take it. Hell, yeah. I don't think they could just give up a spot like that. That's not how that works, right? Like, that's also a thing. It's just, I don't like the fact that, like, oh, I decided to do this, so now you gotta help me do that. Yeah, no, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister didn't meet the acceptance criteria. You did. Sister may be your parents' golden child, but she's not the golden child for the program. Heck, is admittance even transferable? Wouldn't the program get to decide who an open spot would go to? Exactly, the spot isn't even transferable, so it's not like I can just hand it over. It's common sense that you wouldn't be able to hand it over to her. It's a competitive program. Do your parents not have common sense, or is this fake? Oh! Honestly, it feels like common sense is out the window with them right now. They're so caught up in siding with her that they're ignoring how things actually work. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah, not the asshole. Am I the asshole for canceling streaming services? I'm gonna say no, not in this economy. Streaming services have gone up so much in price. Hi everyone, my boyfriend 26 male and I 25 female live together and used to pay for various streaming services. HBO Max, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and an anime one he uses. And he lets his parents and sisters use it. A couple of months ago, we decided to stop paying for Disney Plus because we weren't watching anything on it. His mom always talks about shows she wants to watch on Disney and that we should start paying it again. What? This weekend we decided to cancel our Netflix too because again, we weren't using it and we decided if there was ever something we want to watch on there, then I will get it again. Do they not live together? Do they live together? I mean, no, boyfriend and OP live together, but the password sharing, I think, stopped for both Disney and Netflix. So his aunt calls and starts lecturing him about his finances and that he shouldn't spend so much money that he doesn't have enough left to pay for the Netflix. What do you mean? You can pay for it, aunt. and she is using it and needs him to pay. I am there, so I say, tell her she can pay it and that you can change the card information and that she can pay if she wants to use it. Now the aunt talked to his mom, and they are saying I am an asshole because I am forcing my boyfriend to spend all his money on me so he can't pay for the things they need. What the heck? No. But I thought password sharing was no longer a thing. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. My boyfriend and I decided not to pay for streaming service we don't use, but his family does. That might make me the asshole because they want to use it, but now they can't. Okay, then pay for it. Like, oh my gosh. Not the asshole. If you want to be petty, you could tell them they shouldn't be so financially careless that they can afford their own streaming services. His family sound like an absolute nightmare. I hope you don't have to be in contact with them often. I have said to my boyfriend that they are financially irresponsible and that he shouldn't have to pay for their stuff. It goes beyond the streaming service sometimes. Sometimes it's groceries. But he says he feels bad for his sister because she is so young. Aww. Damn, airing out that laundry though. In that case, he should pay for literal food instead of streaming services, or pay electricity bill to the electric company. He doesn't have enough money to pay for their literal food or their electricity bill. He did when he lived there. But now we got our own bills. He was only sharing his passwords because he was already paying for the services. Yeah, no. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for arguing with my father-in-law over gender roles and my place in the house? Uh-oh. I'm gonna say no. This one seems pretty straight to the point. It could be rage bait, who knows? So my 29 male in-laws are visiting for the weekend, and I of course try my best to get along and entertain the guests. But while my wife was out picking up something for my dinner, my father-in-law made a comment about how it must be weird letting my wife worry about dinner for once. Huh? Now I'll be honest, I love to cook and bake. I also work from home with a job that's somewhat laid back, so when I get time I clean and take care of the house. Ah. I'm also admittingly the breadwinner, so my wife has chosen a passion job that requires her to leave the house and do stuff that actually is somewhat physically strenuous. It makes her happy, and I love that she gets to work her dream job, even if it does leave her very tired when it comes to chores around the house. So when my father-in-law asked me if it was weird, I asked him to clarify, and he stated, "You let her get away with avoiding all the women's work." Oh man. I shouldn't let that happen at home, it's just not right. You should be making her do the cooking and cleaning all the time. This obviously frustrated me a little, and I didn't want to argue or anything, but I was trying to get him to be a little more empathetic, so I responded with, "Your daughter works very hard every day. A foundation for her day-to-day stress is being able to come home to some concept of order. Some days she's home hurt because of how hard she works even. If all I have to do during the day is walk around the house and clean a little and have something warm to eat for her when she finally gets home to relax, why would I ever take that away from her, even if it's for the sake of what gender should be doing what? It's a team effort, and we don't really see it the way you do." He grumbled and kind of went on monologue, oh god, about how it's just different now and it doesn't seem like things are as good these days. Okay, boomer. I didn't want to push any further and just kind of awkwardly waited until my wife got back. That is awkward. I told her about it later, and she kind of just sighed and said it's just like that and really doesn't want me to engage or argue with him if I can. Should I have kind of shrugged off and let go for my wife's sake? I feel like I'm walking on eggshells a bit while they visit. Nah, honestly, nah. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action of being confrontational over a matter I should have just let go ignored at the time. Being confrontational may have made the visit for my wife more uncomfortable. Yeah, no. Am I the asshole for not allowing my sister to have her birthday party in my house? No. No? My husband, 26 male, and I, 24 female, just bought our first home recently. And we've worked incredibly hard to get here. We don't come from money, and everything we have, we've earned ourselves. We are very close to my side of the family and see them nearly every day. I've always kind of been the black sheep of the family because I am the only one who has set boundaries. Anyway, a week after my husband and I moved in, my 26 female sister sent me an invitation to a birthday party, which she planned to hold at our new house. I want to note that she had briefly asked me about hosting the party here a few days earlier, and I told her I wasn't sure because we still had a lot of unpacking to do. Clearly that wasn't a concern for her, and she went ahead and made the invitations days later. Oh, okay. Inviting extended family who live several hours away and would need to stay a night or two. Oh my god, that would make me so mad. Since we're still settling in, we don't have extra beds or much furniture yet, and my husband and I don't feel ready to host, it felt like a large gathering so soon, when we haven't even planned a housewarming party yet. Both of us work full-time and have limited time to unpack, so things are moving slowly. I told my sister that we'd be open to having a smaller, more intimate celebration, just immediate family and maybe 1 or 2 close friends. I also explained that this move has been a huge transition for me, and I'm still getting used to the new city and lifestyle. And while I wanted to celebrate her, I didn't feel ready for a big party. After that, she stopped responding to me. The next day, I went to my parents' house during my lunch break, and my dad came outside to tell me that they don't want to see me. He said I was being selfish for turning down my sister's request, and that I had hurt the whole family. Oh my god, she was not respecting her. Now my family refuses to speak to me until I apologize, and they've called me ungrateful and a narcissist. Oh my god. I don't know if I was in the wrong or I made a big deal about it unintentionally hurt my family. They did not respect you, girl, and they're gonna continue to do stuff like that. No, OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Was I wrong for not allowing her to have her party at my house? No. Not the asshole, no wonder you've had to set boundaries with your family. It's utterly ridiculous that they feel like she's entitled to your space like this. You'd best contact those extended family members before they make travel arrangements, because it doesn't sound like she's going to. Or at all, she'll tell them it's cancelled and it's all your fault so you'll look terrible. Yep. The entire family seems like they're assholes, to be honest. Who in their right mind demands someone's house for their own private celebration? Then bad mouths to everyone. Literally. Agree. Am I the asshole for not taking my stepdaughter on vacation? No? I think we did have one pretty similar to this last week. I, 30 female, have been married to my husband, Tom, 35 male, for 2 years. We have a 3-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter together. We have a 15-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. The custody agreement is every other weekend. Our son and daughter have never been to Disney, so this year we are surprising them with a trip. My husband, myself, and 2 kids will be going to Disney for 5 days. My stepdaughter has been to Disney 6 times, so we didn't think she'd want to go since things the little ones can enjoy. The trip is planned for a week. She's going to her friends to a ski resort. My husband and I paid for half the trip and gave her spending money to have fun. Her mom asked my husband if he would be able to bring her to the morning of the trip to the friend's house so all the girls can leave together. He let her know he couldn't since we were going to be getting on a plane that morning to Disney. Her mom said we obviously don't care about my stepdaughter since we're not taking her, and has made my stepdaughter upset thinking we didn't want her to go. Yeah, if y'all just didn't really ask her, you can't just assume. We've tried explaining that we didn't think she'd want to go on the young kids' rides, and that we can't split up with her because the little ones are in the try to run in the opposite directions phase. We've offered to cancel her ski trip and bring her along with us, but she said she wants to do both, and it's not fair for her to miss the trip with her friends. We just want some unbiased opinions. I mean, she was able to go to a friend's thing, but they didn't ask her in the first place, and I think that's what the issue is. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I'm the asshole for not asking her from the beginning if she wanted to go or not. Yes. I agree. I feel that a general issue here was him not asking her. Everyone's sex here. Some more than others. You only for not talking to her about it beforehand. Your husband bears much more responsibility for this, though, because it's his child. Stepdaughter for being, it's not fair about not being able to go to Disney on her ski trip, and because she mostly would hate the Disney trip geared for little kids and be a pain. Speaking as a former 15-year-old girl. Mostly, though, stepdaughter's mother is making this a whole thing and likely winding up her daughter to be upset about it. I hope that's not the case, but I can see that. And yeah, I agree with the part, like, if she wanted to go to both trips, but I just think he should have asked her first. Yeah, always ask first before anything. Yeah, especially like with big trips like that. I feel like it's at least respectful. I don't know. This one's already marked not the asshole. Oh, it's 21 hours old, is that why? Okay, let's see. Let's see if we agree. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my aunt at a baby shower instead of showing tact and declining an invitation request more respectfully? And it's marked not the asshole. Okay, let's see how this plays out. My mom and Jenny have been best friends since they were little. We aren't actually related, but I still call her Aunt Jenny. Jenny's daughter Ellie is also 16, and Jenny is sadly the kind of mom who thinks Ellie is never wrong. Uh-oh. Here are some examples over the years. Ellie stole a hair ribbon from another girl. The other girl was lying because she was jealous of Ellie. Oh. The teacher gave Ellie an F because she didn't do her work. The teacher is also jealous of Ellie. Oh god. Also, yeah, I know there are bad teachers out there and have had a few myself, but every single one and all the time? Really? Ellie's sister Annie hasn't talked to Ellie since moving out. Nothing happened and Jenny has no idea why Annie is refusing contact. Jenny is so in denial about this one especially. Something obviously happened that Jenny doesn't want to admit to. Ooh. Mom notices this too, but she usually just changes the subject away from Ellie, but never says anything about it directly to Jenny because she doesn't want it to hurt the friendship. Jenny usually does take the hint and changes the subject. Mom took me to a baby shower where Jenny happened to be, so they obviously talked, and my mom mentioned that me and my friends have a camping trip planned soon. Jenny was openly hinting that she wanted me to invite Ellie too. Mom picked up on it and basically tried inviting Ellie along. So before she finished her sentence, I loudly said, "Oh hell no!" Jenny clearly wasn't happy, and Mom told me that my trip was cancelled. Hey, how old is OP? By the time we got home, she luckily changed her mind about canceling the trip, but was still pissed at me. I said that her and Jenny have been friends forever, but I didn't choose to be Ellie's friend and didn't want her coming along. Oh, dang. Mom said she knows I don't have a great opinion of Ellie, and she knows Ellie has plenty of issues, but I should have declined respectfully instead of embarrassing Jenny, and was capable of saying something like, "Sorry, I would prefer nobody else comes since we don't have room or supplies for another person. My friends aren't comfortable with someone they know will come along." I realize I could have been more respectful, but was... I realized I could have been more respectful, but I was also trying to put a stop to that immediately. Also, we got some looks just because I admit I was pretty loud, but everyone outside of Jenny and Mom seemed to move on almost immediately. So I think she's turning the embarrassment into a bigger deal than it actually was. I mean, if she's like 16 already, like... yeah, I don't know. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I embarrassed Jenny at a baby shower, and Mom says I should have turned down Jenny's invitation request respectfully instead of embarrassing her. I feel like since it wasn't a public space, maybe you should have. But I mean, if she's like the type to like not... if she would have made it a bigger deal, it would have been harder. I can understand that. But I don't know. I feel like maybe it should have like time and place. Yeah, I feel like it is kind of rude. Not the asshole. A lot are going with "you're the asshole," but I'll say something about the hint hint nudge nudge crowd, especially when they're in denial. They ignore soft no's. Could you have been more polite, at least for the first time? Sure, but would it have worked? And as this wasn't just your trip, you had a responsibility to hold the group's boundaries. I don't know, just saying, "oh hell no," I don't know, that's just... I don't know. Soft nose is the perfect word for it. If you try to indirectly say no with Ellie, she finds a solution. So for example, if I said we didn't have enough space or supplies for another person, 90% of the time, Jenny would say something, "Oh, I can pay for the extra carpool." Maybe it was immature, like the "you're the asshole" comments are saying, so I get that. But it's also a guaranteed way to put a stop to it. Like, I mean, you could use this opportunity to see if she would take advantage of that situation, and then you would have to like put full stop on that then, but I don't know. Place and time, yeah, I agree with the place and time thing.
My first one for today is pretty wild. We're starting off strong, and it is, am I the asshole for telling my mom she couldn't capitalize on my dead child? No. I lost my child to female about 2 months ago due to a completely preventable accident caused by people I trusted. No way. Oh my god. I have also recently lost my stepfather. He has done unforgivable things that also broke my trust with him, and my mom is divorcing him over it. Damn. I was obviously devastated and still am. During this time, my child's father, I'll call him CJ to avoid confusions, whom I'm separated from, has split every donated penny he's gotten with me 50-50. Okay. A week after her passing, I found that people my mom and I work with had started a GoFundMe in my child's name, saying it would go towards helping my mom with unexpected bills. Whoa. What? I'm only mentioned once in the entire GoFundMe. Wow, that's just straight up f***ed up. Oh my... I can't. There's no way. I assumed the money would go to me and I would decide where it goes. However, my mom informed me that she and I would split the money. Oh my god. I told her I thought this was wrong. CJ and I should split the money and I will give her some of my portion. She told her friends who started the GoFundMe and they got mad and said they refused to let CJ get the money and wanted it refunded. My mom has been very ugly with CJ over this, and I'm having trouble deciding who's in the right. I understand the people who gave the money wanted to give it to my mom and I, but since they used my child's name as the title of the GoFundMe, I feel as though CJ at least deserves half. Yeah. Am I the asshole for fighting my mom over this and being upset that they're trying to capitalize on mine and CJ's laws? No, that is so messed up. What do you mean? Not the asshole. That's like so bad that I can't believe like somebody would have the gall to do that. If it's real, of course, but like, oh my god. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. For telling my mom she shouldn't collect money from the GoFundMe. like I'm just confused on what gives Granny the right. I mean, yes, she is grandmother. Did she like I just don't understand how she would think that it's okay to do that. It's so messed up. Like I literally cannot fathom. Why did your mother need money for her grandchild's passing? Did she pay the funeral or medical expenses? When it comes to GoFundMe, whomever creates the account gets to handle the money. It is theirs to distribute no matter what your preference is. True, but if they are misrepresenting who the money will go to, the purpose of the money, you can report it to GoFundMe. OP gets the GoFundMe, states it will go to the grandmother, and OP's only mentioned once. No idea what grandmother is the recipient. Yeah, that's like what? Honestly, I'm confused why OP thought she would get the money from the GoFundMe and could decide what to do with it when the GoFundMe specifically said it was to help her mother with unexpected bills related to her grandchild's death. Probably legal fees since it seems like her husband, OP's stepfather, caused the child's death. What? I want to know what grandma's bills were. I could see maybe hotel rooms and time off work if she has a job where she doesn't have paid leave. But unless she helped with medical funeral bills, what sort of expenses is she even out for real? Oh my god, like literally, it doesn't sound like they're misrepresenting it. She said the GoFundMe was set up to help her mother pay for bills. So if any of it goes to CJ, that is misrepresenting since he is never mentioned. Going to OOP is fine since she is mentioned in the GoFundMe once. I don't know if it is the way it is vaguely worded with missing information or what, but it sort of comes off as if they are all trying to profit. Like, why is money being donated to CJ in the first place? And then he is splitting it 50-50. Did OP and CJ have a lot of costs that they originally split 50-50? But what about the mother of OP who set up the GoFundMe, which apparently has reason enough to get people to donate to her, but they want it refunded if it's going to the father of the deceased child? Why are there so many donations to begin with? It wasn't a long-term illness, and the stepfather and divorce being vaguely and randomly mentioned is also odd. I have so many questions. I guess my main thing is there's still specific costs owed or what were paid that have not been recouped, for lack of a more sensitive word. If so, what is the breakdown of those costs and who paid them? Are they listed in the GoFundMe? Is this family asking for help in a difficult financial position, or are they asking for money because of a tragedy? It just seems so odd to me that so many donations are happening while the concept of costs are apparently addressed in the GoFundMe. It isn't even remotely talked about by OP. She never mentions that she and CJ started paying costs. She just mentioned he split donations with her, so she thinks she should split donations with him. I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but the lack of information and the focus on just splitting donation makes this whole family seem like they're doing a money grab after a tragedy. I'm gonna have to, like, there is, like, a lot of information missing here. Did they say anything else? I was removed. Okay. Raised by narcissists. Oh, they've even, okay. Okay, they responded. Oops. The funeral costs were completely paid for, so nobody had any expenses other than the hotel rooms and gas. CJ did not get bereavement, however. My stepfather is mentioned as this was a main reason why they created the fund, but the nature of his absence was too disgusting to use. So they used my child's name instead. What is... I am happy to answer more questions. What? I just need more context, dude. Removed. I don't know. Is it responses? I'm so confused. You know, I said not the asshole, but I'm gonna change my answer to not enough info. Not enough info. Though it is like really messed up. It seems like a very messed up situation here. What? Am I the asshole for pouring hand sanitizer on me after a woman hugged me? Uh, I feel like yes and no. Oh, okay. My initial reaction is kind of like no, but it is yes if you like do it right in front of them. I feel like that is where you end up like becoming an asshole. So I'm assuming that you did it in front of them. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna say yes. I, 27 male, was with my wife, 30 female, on a public transportation at a time when there were a lot of people. My wife suffers from anxiety when she is around a lot of people because of harassment issues she's had with men in the past. So on public transportation, she is always hugging me or using me as a shield. Valid. The thing is that in my country, a trend has become famous where an attractive girl lets herself fall on public transportation on top of a man who is with his partner to record the woman's reaction. Eeh. I realized that she was doing that kind of trend because she was with her cell phone hidden in her sleeve. The thing is that the girl in question leans on me and I carefully push her away using my arm. And I take out my hand sanitizer to clean the area of my arm where she touched me. The girl didn't react well to this. It seems that the fact that I cleaned her up angered her more than the fact that I denied her the hug. She made such a scandal in the middle of the bus that at the next stop she, my partner, and I had to get off. I was angry because it was already night and all I wanted was to get home. My wife obviously took my side and luckily we left without any further problems. But it left me indignant. I don't think I said that right. That there are people who took her side for what I did. I think it's normal to clean yourself up after a stranger touches you, or am I the asshole for that? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Putting hand sanitizer on myself after someone touched me. 2. That caused the indignation of the woman that touched me on the first place. I mean, obviously, here's the context. I don't think, honestly, generally, I don't really think that makes them the asshole. Um, but I mean, doing that in front of her, I feel like is rude. But like, if she would, I mean, you can't know. Maybe she was doing that trend. Maybe she wasn't. How can you really know for sure without asking? Like, assumptions is kind of there's a reason why it says us out of you kind of thing, whatever that phrase is. So I'm just gonna say I don't know, cause like you can't really, if that is the case, need to make sure you're good, make sure you're good to go, but I don't know. Because I still think it's rude to put on hand sanitizer in front of them. I just think that's generally rude. I try to like do that like outside of view, but I mean, I'm gonna say everyone sucks here though. I mean, I get he doesn't suck. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna say everyone sucks here, even though he's like I'm on OP side, if that makes sense. Not the asshole. Someone unsolicitedly touched you in public on a public transport and you put hand sanitizer where they touched you. That's something I would do. It's so easy for germs to spread on public transport. I mean, if she was really trying to do TikTok prank on a random person, that is already unhinged. But then to start you when you do what most people on public transport wouldn't blink at is very unhinged. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it is kind of rude. I get it. I, hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna say everyone sucks here. I'm sorry. Am I the asshole for refusing to look after the child of a parent who may need to go to a hospital? No? This might make me messed up. I'm gonna say no, but I mean, there is that, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I have two daughters in early teens. The older one is autistic. A couple of years ago, my younger daughter had a sleepover with 6 or so friends for her birthday. A few days later, we had a request from the father, Gary, of one of these girls, Elise, for her to stay over because he had to work a night shift. My wife and I were surprised by this as we didn't know him and we didn't want our kids staying with someone we didn't know. We said yes though, and she stayed. Oh, I think her name is Elsie. Elsie and Gary then signed up for a weekly class that both my kids do. Since Gary doesn't drive, I give them a lift every week. This is the only interaction I have with Gary. I'm not close with him at all. Despite this, he asked on a few more occasions, maybe 3 or 4, that Elsie to stay at our house. My daughter has grown away from being friends with Elsie over the past year or two, and my older autistic daughter doesn't like the invasion of her space that having someone stay brings. It also complicates work from home as we need our office set up as an extra bedroom. Our kids normally cycle to school, but Elsie doesn't have a bike, so I need to drive them, which is an inconvenience to me. Even so, we always agreed to have her to help Gary out as he's a single parent and she was in need. Recently, though, he has become ill and been admitted to hospital. He asked for her to stay with us while he was in, and we agreed as he's a single father and we felt sorry for him. We ended up having her here for 5 days, but we weren't sure how long it would be initially. Gary knew he would need to go back into the hospital at some point, but made no arrangements for Elsie and assumed she would stay with us again. Oh, that's crazy. He ended up going back in earlier than expected and basically dumped her on us again. We felt we had no choice but to look after her. Again, we had no idea how long this would be for. It was 10 days this time, and we were all beyond our comfort zone with the situation, but my autistic daughter was really struggling with having a guest in the house for that long. A few days later, Gary got out of the hospital. He messaged us to say he might have to go in again, and that she would like to stay with us again. Oh my god. This is where I may be the asshole. I shut this down quickly and said there is no way she can stay again. I feel bad because he is a single parent and claims he has no one else to turn to, but I feel that he has had plenty of time to sort out other arrangements, and that I need to put my own children first. Her mother is alive, but not an option for reasons that I don't know about. So, am I the asshole for not helping out a sick father in need for the 6th or 7th time? Oh, tough. I'm gonna, honestly, this might make me the asshole, but I'm gonna say no. I mean, the fact that they even offered to help as many times before is honestly, like, more than anybody could have done, TBH. It just sucks for the child. It sucks for the situation sucks, but your kids, like, this other person's kids are not your responsibility. And within those other times, like, I feel like maybe a boundary should have been set before then, but like, I don't know. It just feels weird that, like, I mean, obviously, if you're going to the hospital as often as you are and you're a single parent, like, I can't even, like, imagine how stressful that is, but, like, you have a kid, and I feel like you should make proper arrangements. Don't assume. Need to discuss it out. Like, I just, I'm gonna say not the asshole. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I refuse to look after the daughter of someone who needs to go into hospital. Yeah, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I had a similar problem with a neighbor girl. Her single dad kept saying he was offered extra shifts and really needed the money. Turns out he was just getting high. Yes. Are you sure Gary is staying at the hospital? Have you ever asked Gary where his mom? Where are grandparents? Does he have any family in the area? I guess his answer doesn't really matter because you're done being the long-term care provider. Saying there's no way she can stay here is a bit harsh, but Gary doesn't seem aware of social norms, so he probably didn't notice. He was in the hospital. We took her to visit him. I've asked about the mom, but only got vague answers about her not being an option. Glad to know he's not using you in any way that single dad used me, but he's still using you. I work with students with autism. I can imagine quite clearly how difficult these extended stays are for your daughter. You are doing the right thing. It is difficult for her. My daughter is a very kind person and wanted to help too, but it's clear she's uncomfortable when Elise is staying. That sucks. Yeah, not the asshole. That sucks though. Unfortunate situation. I hope everything like works out for them. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my friend with their project because they didn't respect my boundaries? No. No? I mean, there is the possibility of it, yes. So I'm a freshman in computer engineering, and I've been working really hard to get my grades up and stay on top of my assignment. I've got a pretty packed schedule, but I've been doing my best to stay organized. A few days ago, my one and only close friend, let's call him Alex, reached out and asked me for help with their project. They're not in the same major, but they knew I had experience with coding and some of the concepts we'd learned. I said I could offer some guidance, but I was really busy and couldn't give them too much time. I told Alex that I could help them brainstorm and point them in the right direction, but I couldn't do the work for them. Valid. Well, Alex kept insisting that I should do a little more, like helping with debugging or even writing a few lines of code. What? I repeatedly told them that I couldn't, but they didn't seem to get it. Eventually, they said something like, I've helped you out before, so you owe me. Oh, not that you owe me. That comment really rubbed me the wrong way, as it should. I'm all for helping out friends, but I felt like they were disrespecting my time and effort. I ended up telling them I couldn't help anymore, and they got upset, calling me selfish and saying that I was being unreasonable. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I overreacted. No, should I have just helped them out because he helped me in the past and he was my only close friend in the university? Or was I right to set those boundaries? Am I the asshole? No. No. I hope you... No. Sophie has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I feel like I'm the asshole in that situation because he's my only friend, and it's true that he helped me in the past, but that does not mean that I should be the one doing his work for him. Am I right? Yeah, like, absolutely. Not the asshole. Like, if you've got your own stuff to handle, that's priority. Your time is valuable too. They're the ones disrespecting your boundaries. Friends should get that. TBH, real ones don't guilt trip you like that. Snaps. Snaps, completely agree. Yeah, not the asshole. That's like, ugh. You owe me. Oh, I'd be like, you're not my friend anymore. Like, oh my god, no, not the asshole. This one is, am I the asshole I banned my mother-in-law from my house after initially agreeing that she could live with us? Oop. I don't know, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, but I might be wrong. I, 47 female, wanted to be supportive to my DH, 52 male. What is DH? Is it for husband? Why is the Reddit aka engine abbreviation for... Okay, it's husband. Okay, dear husband. Oh, okay. I, 47 female, wanted to be supportive for my husband, 52 male, whose mom guilted him to moving in with us because she has no money or retirement savings and we have the room. Oop. My mother-in-law is an elephant grade boundary stomper. Oop. Oop. She listens to private conversations and comments, changes the rules in our home, oop, acts like a matriarch, and he lets her, oh, goes through laundry in our bedroom, and then leaves my undergarments unwashed in the laundry room. What the what? What? Wash my kitchen towels with her underwear. Enters our bedroom to talk to husband or ask me where he is. She is overbearing and he hides from her, so she harasses me instead. Oh my god. Goes into my bathroom to get our scale so she can weigh before and after every meal. Why is that? Like, why are you putting that? I don't like that. I don't know. Final straw? Creates email lists with my husband and his siblings and their spouses and cousins listed along with my husband's ex, who has kept the last name. But I am not included, so it appears that they are the husband and wife pair. What? What do you mean? That's so weird. This went on for a while and my husband did not say anything. Oh my god. Okay. I finally pointed out it was disrespectful to me. He said he wanted to fix it. His fix? Quietly ask his mother to add my name to the list without letting her know she had disrespected me like I asked. He didn't want to hurt her feelings. Oh my god. I didn't want to be added retroactively to make it look like I was being whiny, and I did not want the ex removed because she hadn't done anything wrong. I just wanted mother-in-law to know what she has done was inconsiderate and disrespectful, like she was engineering a reconciliation. I was ignored and added to the email list and now coexist with ex. I felt betrayed by husband, and so I confronted him and then directly emailed mother-in-law to ask to be removed, and she said, but husband said you wanted to be added. Having her in my home would be a constant battle. Since husband cannot call his mother out, I wrote an email to husband explaining my position and copied her, and mentioned again that I want to be removed and keep the ex there. Tried to see if she would just listen and follow my boundary, even if it's not agreeable to her. Spoiler alert, she didn't. Oh my god. Sending an email is also crazy to me. What do you... This is wild. This is wild. So I told husband she can't move in since she blatantly disregards my request boundaries and he cannot confront her or shield me, so I don't want my home to be my prison. Husband has been afraid to tell her for over a year. Instead, he is saying, I suddenly changed my mind after we agreed to house her and she will feel rejected. I think he is hoping I will change my mind, but at this point, she is not even allowed to come stay for a visit. I am scared she won't leave. Valid. She has since done other things that make me believe she will claim our home or part of it if the opportunity arises. Yes, I have a massive husband problem, and he has started therapy and is seeing how she has been overbearing, and he is afraid to please her because of the wrath she unleashed when they were growing up. Oof. So, am I the asshole for banning her from my house even though I previously agreed and her son has not told her, so she is planning to move? No, I'm gonna say no, because that's like if you are staying in someone's house, I just feel like you need to be respectful. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I originally agreed to allow my mom-in-law to live with us since she has no retirement savings. Changed my mind after she stomped multiple boundaries and is not held accountable. My husband hasn't told her she is no longer welcome, and so she is making plans to move in. Am I the asshole for going back on my agreement? I'm gonna say no. No, not at all. What the heck, dude? What do you mean? Literally, like, what do you mean? Not the asshole. This will be the rest of your life, though. Do you think you can tolerate being with a man so spineless? Oh my god. What happens when you have children and he won't stand up for them? Alas, that ship sailed. The children were the first to call husband out and tell him he is different when mother-in-law is around, and they don't like him around her. Damn. The emojis. We live far enough away that I was able to shield the children, except for the once or twice a year visits. Now children are grown and avoid her as much as possible and have moved out, so it will be us two and her, with me carrying all the emotional load because he will just hide from her. That's what I am kiboshing with the change. That's crazy. Not the asshole. That's so crazy. Not the asshole. I'm glad her husband's getting therapy though. That's good. That sucks though. Holy shit. Alright, our next one. This one I feel like is gonna be straight to the point. Obviously. Am I the asshole for refusing to take an allergy pill every day so my wife and kids can have a pet? No. No. I'm allergic to cats and don't want to deal with the hassle of a dog. My wife and kids have been begging for a pet for years, but I really don't want to take allergy medicine just to be able to live in my own home. I don't take any medicine. And I feel like a dog would be very restrictive to our already extremely busy lifestyle and unfair to a puppy. I shut it down every time they bring it up, but they ask all the time. Am I being the asshole here? No. No. Owning a pet is a big responsibility. Like literally, that's just it. And I feel like he is being like really he's being really responsible about it. And the fact that he would have to take allergy medicine every day, I mean, I love like I have my cat and I'm glad my partner isn't allergic to him, but it's like I just could not in good conscience like make them like have to take medicine or something because of that, you know? I don't know. Maybe it might be a popular opinion. It just doesn't feel right. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. My wife and kids want a pet, and I empirically, I don't think I said that right, say no without conversation or discussion on the matter. No, I don't think he's the asshole. Not the asshole. It's reasonable not to want to take pills every day, and if you believe your lifestyle isn't good for a dog, then you shouldn't get one. But maybe you should also open up the possibility for other pets that won't trigger your allergies and which may not require the same type of work. For instance, rodents, rats, guinea pig, hamsters, or maybe reptiles, leopard geckos, crested geckos, or even a ferret. Dude, ferrets are stinky. Bear in mind that all of these animals have different needs and not everybody is suited to own exotic pets, but it might be worth looking into to see if you or your family would be capable of handling it and interested in doing it. Oh, that's okay, okay. Also, pro tip for more unusual pets when deciding on them. Check if there's a veterinary practice that can provide care for them near you. My sister used to own ferrets. We had to rehome after she developed a pretty bad allergy. Dang. And we had to find a new vet. Dang. Yeah, I'm short, sweet, to the point, not the asshole. This next one is, am I the asshole for leaving my rescheduled birthday lunch after the original was canceled? Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong on this one. I feel like I am a little bit, but who knows? I mean, we're gonna see. I am 24 female, and it is my 25th birthday next week, and I share my birthday with my grandfather. My parents split when I was young, and I have been an only child my entire life. I don't ask for much, and I'm a chronic people pleaser. Ooh, mood. My dad is in his 50s and has a wife 20 years his junior who is pregnant with their first child. Oh my god. Okay. She is from a different country that is 10 plus hours away. I had a birthday lunch scheduled for next week, which was planned around my dad's schedule. However, my dad called me on Thursday and said joyfully, I'm flying to my wife's home country on Tuesdays, so family lunch is canceled. I asked some follow-up questions and found out that her family is going to a theme park. He asked if I had plans for the weekend, and I told him I did because I already organized multiple things with multiple people. I ended the call and cried. Aww. I talked to my friends, canceled my plans, and rescheduled the family lunch for Saturday, 36 hours from phone call to the new lunch. Everything gets organized and it gets to Saturday. I'm 30 minutes into the 2-hour drive to my parents' town and get a call from my grandmother asking where I am. I had aimed to arrive at noon. I left late and there was traffic, so my arrival time was planned for 12:45. Lunch is always 12:30. My grandmother tells me my dad had moved lunch to 11:30 and no one had informed me. I was the only person who needed to travel more than 20 minutes. I spoke to my grandmother about dropping my dog to her house before lunch as I would be staying in the area that night and couldn't have time at the venue. She was more than happy with this and said my dad's dog wouldn't be there, which was necessary as the dogs do not get along. I continue on the drive and the family chat has messages relating to people arriving and my dad being late. It's 12:45 when I get to my grandparents' house. I see my dad's dog in the window. He dropped him off and didn't tell anyone. I now have nowhere to take my dog and I'm on the brink of tears. Oh my god. I go to lunch and wish my grandfather a happy birthday and give him his present, but let him know I will not be staying. I tell him about the dog situation and a family member commented that I looked like I was about to break down. I told them I'd had a terrible week and I pretty much was. My dad's wife says that they can take their dog somewhere else and I tell her it's too late, so she just gets up from the table and walks away. I go to leave and my dad stopped me. He said he knew he'd hurt me. He'd had a sleepless night. He was sorry and wanted me to stay. I told him I didn't want to stay. Yes, he had hurt me and I wanted to leave. He let me go and then stopped me again and said, "You're being a real brat." So I left and I didn't go back. Am I the asshole? No. Oh my god, your dad sucks, dude. That's so rude. LP is up for the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I left my own birthday lunch and I have no idea if that is a reasonable response. I'm hurt and I'm upset. I don't know if I'm in the wrong or if my dad has the right to call me a brat. No! Oh my god. That's messed up. I'm so sorry, LP. Not the asshole. Your dad really, really sucks though. He knew he hurt you, and when you didn't just tell him it was okay, that he mistreated you, he called you names. He's 50 and acting like he's 5. I'm so sorry your dad is treating you this way. Remember that you don't have to interact with him if you're not ready, comfortable. Kids, including adult kids, don't owe their parents anything, and you deserve to be treated with respect at the very least. You're not being treated with respect, so you have no obligation to show him any either. Yup. Yep, that's right, Misty 2484. You were so correct. Oh, poor OP. I feel so bad for her. Oh my god. I hope you had a good birthday besides that. This one is not the asshole poo mode. Okay, let's see if we agree. Am I the asshole for leaving in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner because of pumpkin pie? Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's see. My 32 female mother, 60 female, hosts Thanksgiving dinner at her house every year. It's a small event with my parents, me, my brother's family, and my sister-in-law's family attending. We avoid family quarrels by implementing a strict no politics rule and trying our best to be civil. I should probably mention that we are not a particularly close-knit family. We rarely see each other beyond these events since my brother lives in South Africa and I travel a lot due to my work. Thanksgiving is important to my mom since it's one of the rare times we're all together. Anyway, the main problem I have with my mother is her constant critique of me. She has a habit of making passive-aggressive comments about my life choices, from my career to my lack of children to the way I dress. Ugh. I've addressed this with her multiple times, but she doesn't really seem aware of it. I'm sure. My father claims it was just her way of fussing and expressing that she cares. It does hurt though, because my brother is never criticized in the same manner. I cannot entirely fault her for her criticism since I did majorly mess up my life a few months ago, depression, and it has affected her opinion on me negatively. Ugh, I'm so sorry, OP. It does not excuse the way I acted, but I just wanted to explain why I left. Valid. By the time we finished dinner, I was a bit prickly because of some of her commentary. I made a cake for dessert. I was explicitly put in charge of it, and no one specified what exactly I should make, so I opted to make maple cheesecake. Ooh, sounds yummy. I did my best, and I think it looked okay. Mom normally makes pumpkin pie, and I really hate pumpkins. They make me gag. So I thought perhaps we could try something new. As I was bringing out the cheesecake, my mom eyed it somewhat warily and announced that she decided to make the usual pie as well. This caught me off guard. I asked why she didn't tell me beforehand, and she said something like, well, we figured you'd do your own thing, so I thought it was best to have a backup. She went on to cut the pie and serve it to everyone, instructing me to leave the cheesecake in the kitchen. When someone asked to try my dessert, she said, let's not mix too many flavors at once. Which just felt passive-aggressive. I know it's immature for an adult to get that upset over a triviality, but I just politely refused as she was handing me a slice of pie, retrieved my coat, and left. People were calling after me, I think, but by that point I was crying for some reason, and it would have been too humiliating to have an emotional outburst in front of everyone for no real reason. You have such a real reason. My mom just texted me saying that it was incredibly rude and immature of me to leave like that, especially on Thanksgiving. Babes, you were being rude and immature. In your old age, okay. My brother also sent me a message saying I'm acting irrationally. I feel horrible for leaving so abruptly, especially because my parents are getting older and we are already not close. Something about my mother seems to turn me into a neurotic teenager and I hate it. No, it's... Aw, poor OP, not the asshole, I agree. Not the asshole. If your mother's way of fussing and expressing that she cares looks, sounds, and feels like she's being a deliberately nasty person, then I'm guessing she really is just being a deliberately nasty person. Walks like a duck and all that. I'll tell your father this. Your mother premeditated the whole dessert thing right down to the kick in the teeth of excluding the dessert you made from the table. She made off on being cruel in this petty way for whatever warped reason. This kind of thing is no accident and not care in any way. Golden Boy brother can't see it because he is never the target. Dad is trying to see it through the best way possible lens. Your mother won't admit to herself what she is really doing, even as she deliberately does it. Their blindness doesn't mean she isn't doing it. Oh, yeah, agreed. Agreed. Oh my god, poor OP. I'm so sorry, dude. Not just excluding it from the dinner table, but actively telling someone trying to eat the damn cheesecake they can't. OP, the only reason you don't know with absolute certainty that your mother is the asshole here is because you are used to her abuse. I wouldn't be surprised if your depression were directly tied to the way she diminishes you and your brother do nothing about it. Are you able to go to therapy? Therapy is literally a person to talk to who can give you an outside perspective and whose only interest is helping you decide how you want to act, protect yourself, etc. regarding the things happening around you and rattling around in your head. OP, I'm so sorry your family has failed you here. Oh, yeah, not the as a poor OP. Are you kidding me? Aww. This one is also marked not the asshole. Wicked just came out in theaters not too long ago. It has been everywhere. Am I the asshole for yelling at a lady on her phone before Wicked and it's marked not the asshole? Let's see. Just left the movie and I'm curious. The first video saying turn off your phone goes and she's scrolling on Facebook with her brightness up. The second video saying to get off your phone goes and she's still on it, so I yell down, it's stadium seating, like 3 rows for her to turn it off. She did the rest of the show too, dang. After the movie, a lady says I have an ugly voice, and I joke that I love compliments on my voice. And I loudly say to my friend if I wonder if that's the lady I yelled at after she wouldn't listen to Jeff Goldblum to turn off her phone. And I say, stay mad when she and her husband were shaking their heads in disgust. So, am I the asshole? Edit. The lady stayed off her phone. My friend joked I scared everyone straight. Edit 2. Wow, this blew up. Here are some answers to a few questions that are popping up. 1. This was well past when the trailers were done, and it was obviously right before the movie started. Literally, the movie started almost immediately after. No, I wasn't singing or doing anything that made me a bad audience member. My voice is just Miley Cyrus level loud and raspy, and the lady recognized my voice while walking out. Edit 3. Yins. I love that one of my neighbors who was there in the theater with me showed up in the comments here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, not the asshole. Literally, like when it tells you to turn off your phone, it is like right before the movie, I feel like. If I remember correctly, I don't go to movies as much anymore. But also be considerate of your surroundings when you're out in a public space like a movie theater, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, not the asshole. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told a lady to be quiet, and then afterwards she got mad at me. Well, people don't like being called out. That's just a thing that happens in general. I think that's like that's just a reaction, you know?